Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with someone? 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Yeah, baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head.
What's kicking, Shark Mates? Bina Vixen and Slim Shetty.
What's up, guys?
Here at WrapSesh. This week we are going to be showcasing a custom re-wrap. If you guys follow,
Re-re.
A re-re.
A re-re.
It's a redo.
I'm just kidding.
It's a half redo. Well, let me explain. Okay, so if you guys follow our YouTube channel, almost like 3 years ago, we did a 3-layer Mercedes camo wrap on a GLA 45 AMG BCDE-FG.
That's
a Mercedes.
not right.
It was close. I think I started it right.
You just name off all the letters and you might get
Well,
some.
I might get at least some of them. So we did this Mercedes GLA 45, and we did a 3-layer custom camo wrap design.
It's like a fashion camo.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a fashion camo. It's an interesting camo. We teamed up with Glarb Designs to create that cut pattern, and we basically wrapped the whole car in Avery matte metallic silver, and then we had black and red camo cut designs put on top of that. So that was like 3 years ago, right? That was to one of our customers. He ended up taking the car to Michigan,
Yep.
and then he sold the car in Florida for his Tesla, which we also wrapped in a glam cam.
Yep.
That's
So
another episode.
Another glam cam.
Yep. And so
And then it actually ended up in New York, and
with
that's
a
where
Mercedes dealer.
at a Mercedes dealer, and this guy found it from Texas, and so he
So-
drove to New York.
No, he flew
to New York and drove the car
bought
back.
the car, drove it back to Texas.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how he figured out that we did it, if he found photos online or
It had
what.
a decal on the back window.
Oh, it had a decal. Okay. So he saw our logo, looked us up, found our YouTube channel, started looking at our videos, and was like, oh my gosh, these guys are super weird and super awesome. I'm gonna take the car back to them. Because keep in mind, this has been 3 years now. The car was ceramic coated. It's been in like 5 different states, you know, all this different things. So the red layer, the smallest layer on top of this design was starting to come off.
Some of the sharper, starting to pill up off of it.
Which it's on a matte metallic base, so it's gonna have a hard time holding down. It was coated, and like I said, it was all over the place over 3 years. So not really that surprising that that layer was starting to become unhinged. So he loved the design, and he basically just wanted to redo it.
Yeah.
Refresh.
Refresh the wrap.
It was a wrap refresh. So he drove all the way from Texas, drove down for the week. We removed the black and red graphics that you're gonna see.
Which, once we removed the graphics, you could see exactly where the ceramic coating was.
Well, yeah,
It
and
was
because of
ghosted
sun
in,
exposure.
and because of the sun exposure.
So you
But-
could see this whole design still on this gray base.
So we had to match it up perfectly to exactly what we did before.
Right. And one of the really cool things was Mercedes and the client was under the impression that that car had the Mercedes like matte metallic
gray.
silver paint job.
Yeah.
So
He thought he was
Mercedes
painted.
sold it as a Mercedes matte paint job. It was actually wrapped. So that's always a nice compliment
It's a
when
great
they confuse
compliment,
a
yeah.
wrap with paint.
Of course. Well,
but-
and it was 3 years later, and it still looked like it was fresh. Like
Yeah,
the gray
yeah.
underneath was awesome. I mean, nothing was failing. There was nothing. I checked the whole car.
Yeah, it was doing really, really well. It was
Yeah.
just the red pieces were coming off.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna do a showcase of that wrap design, and we're also gonna introduce one of our Shark Mouth Squad members to you guys, Hardcore Parkour, and him and Mike will go ahead and get into some of the challenges that you guys face with doing this car, because there was a lot of added difficulty.
Yes.
Mind is busy, gotta feel free sometimes, right? What doesn't make you will only make you stronger if you believe what they say. Maybe not another day. She would have wished to stay, but they're done.
All right, guys, so this is one of our newer Shark Mouth Squad members and installers.
Parkour.
Hardcore Parkour is what I call him, because he is 110% all the time on full blast mode.
Good.
But
Yeah.
high
energy.
high everything, yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. good.
It's fine.
It's good.
So tell us, what do you want them to know about you? Tell us about your install history.
Let's see, I've been wrapping for about 4.5 years now. Self-taught based off YouTube, and then just kind of had like a few other friends that were starting in the trade. Had a few good opportunities bouncing around working for other shops, and found my true home right here at WrapSesh. So
I'll tell you what. Those YouTubers, man, he's pretty good for a YouTuber. The YouTube learner.
Well, I mean,
you know?
you had your own wrap company here locally, so
Yeah.
you have an LLC.
yeah,
right?
so I've run a business myself for the past 1.5 years. I just kind of found with a lot of the rappers out here, I like to do things differently as they do. And as rare as they are, I feel I am similar to them and have found
We have the same mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same
So
vibe
kind
for
of going
sure.
through and taking everything as far as you can, taking the time to do it. It was fun running my own thing, but happy to have a team that can support me and take me even further. So
Definitely.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Sometimes, just kidding. No, it's been super fun. Honestly, out of all the employees we've hired to install, you've probably been the one that has been the most like on point with like, I can tell you what to do and you can do it. And you also want to know how we do things and you want to learn, so it's not butting heads with us. It's
You're
like,
passionate
I wanna
about
learn
what
that.
you do.
Yes, and it shows. And I think we have a lot of fun at the shop.
We do.
It's really fun. We have such a great team now.
Yeah.
So definitely blessed with that. But why don't you guys, because I didn't take much part in this car, why don't you guys talk about some of the difficulties that we had replicating this design?
yeah, so same thing that they were talking about earlier is basically when all of the old stuff was removed. You can kind of see, because it was a matte metallic finish originally, where the ceramic coating had gone, it was a little more satin.
Yeah.
And basically to combat the issues that we had, originally we went with an Orcal higher tack film for the satin black that we were going to overlay, and then just lay test pieces on the already ceramic coated and then the original where we peeled it on the matte metallic to see kind of the tack level. And it was definitely still a little looser on the ceramic, even though it was 3 years older. You're kind of surprised that it was still acting.
It
as
was
wonderful
still
as it
lasted
really
quite a
active.
while.
Yeah.
so that kind of posed the issue of we had the exact same graphics cut on the plotter, so there was no extra room. None of this was a knifeless design until we got into the small last little filler bit. So
Yeah.
having everything line up exactly where the old one was to avoid having it creep onto the ceramic and have the same issues of peeling back. And then we're working with transfer paper that's
That's tough.
yeah, you can't see
Yeah.
through
It
it.
probably
so it's all
would
true
have.
skeletal.
Yeah. It probably would have been a little easier to knifeless the whole thing now, because we had a design to follow.
But
Like,
one of the problems I
but
found is that the knifeless didn't even want to
the
stick to the
knifeless
ceramic
didn't want to
surface.
stick
Yeah.
very well.
Any curve it would just pick up,
And
you'd
so-
have to run half of it onto that ceramic.
So we kind of had to struggle with lining it up exactly. I think we did a pretty
Oh, you
dang
guys
good job
killed
at it.
We killed it. I think,
And the red, what's that?
oh, go ahead.
And the red was actually a cut decal vinyl, so we had to wet app it.
But it'd be high attack.
But it was super high tack once it actually tacked down.
Yeah, so a more aggressive glue.
Yeah.
I feel like for having all those things against you, ceramic coating, replicating a design, not being able to knifeless, all those issues, and then the paper masking that you can't see through.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
pretty freaking solid.
It was pretty good, yeah.
And I think that in
It wasn't-
part had to do with Glarb. On his end, he made these really nice labeled diagrams showing where all the pieces go. They were all labeled, and so like
Knowing
essentially,
as good as its proof.
that's true.
Yep, right.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So essentially, all we had to do was open our original files from 3 years ago and just recut them, and then deal with like puzzling everything together.
It was definitely a puzzle. Like we
Yeah,
were.
a lot of the design allowed us to kind of slice and dice it up, so we didn't have to lay it all as a single piece, and
Yeah.
more lined up.
Any of
But
the
it probably-
edges.
yeah, the hood was 7 different pieces. The
Yeah.
only things that were large panels were the sides, which you'll see.
Yeah, I think the 2 doors is the biggest piece we had to do, was through the 2 doors.
Yeah.
But like anywhere that went off the panel, we just sliced it to able to relieve that. So the design helped us install it because it was so cut up. So that was definitely made it a little easier.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're an installer, bottom line, you have to make shit work.
You
Like
do.
that's your job
You
all
make-
the time.
you
You
make
could
it
have
work.
everything against you, and you just have to make that end product happen.
usually installers have like, by the time the job gets to them, they have everything against them.
Yeah.
It's
rack
Last line
wizardry.
of defense. We're the last people.
We're the people that make
For the
it
customer.
happen.
Yeah.
So we're responsible for
We're the
all
final
the problems
baton.
that come with it.
definitely.
What's that called when you're the last person?
The
Anchor?
real- the
We're
anchor.
the anchor. Yeah.
Cause don't needs a job to pay the rent, he's busy. Gotta feel free sometimes, right? What doesn't make you will only make you stronger if you believe what they say. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done. Red eyes while he's shy. Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with someone. Don't you wanna have fun? Never mind my dumb heart. It needs a little kickstart. 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun? Just make it go away. Can't take Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like that. It hurts, so giving something worse to pass the time. Don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with someone. Don't you wanna have fun? Never mind my dumb heart. It needs a little kickstart. 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun? Don't you wanna have some fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Thank you guys so much for watching this week. We hope you enjoyed our Mercedes GLA 45 things and stuff.
AMG.
Camo things and stuff. If you want to keep up with us on our daily fun, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Vinyl Vixen Wraps and WrapSesh AZ. Huge shout out to our customer Val.
Yeah.
He traveled all the way from Texas to see us. He was such
was
a
awesome.
big fan. He brought us 2 bottles of champagne.
We made
Awesome.
mimosas that next morning
At the car show.
at the car show.
We took it all and had mimosas. It was super awesome. Please, please, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you think we're subscribe. Okay, bye.
I can't go any further.
Oh. Your feet.
Oh no.
Just see you.
Oh no.
You do.
So can we get Parker in here now and just put him in between us? He projects his voice.
Well, no, have him be on that side so we're not like right here next to each other talking.
Can you just hop down like this and you pull the camera down and we'll just like slide and go
What?
just disappear?
I literally, dude, I looked at a text, I wasn't listening to you, and I just look up and you're gone.
So
be
just
fine.
project your voice like you always do.
I think I'm good right there. I know, I'm gonna knock my head on that.
Like, you just gotta look up like this, like you're fading away as you go.
Okay, ready?